Okay, I am back. Anyway, well, we were talking about the VATS, VATS. So this is that system. As you see, everything comes to a halt. It's kind of like a pause mode, but we're not actually paused. But the way the VATS works is it breaks it down into you can pick and choose where you want to um, put your fire, and it gives you a percentage of chance of hit for that particular area based on your skills, your equipment, and distance and all that stuff. It all gets calculated in. So as you can see, headshots are always the best, right? And they virtually are on virtually everything you're going to run into. Um, but in this case, we only have a 22% chance of actually hitting this thing's head. But we've got a nice big fat torso here that's 57%. And we have a hind leg at 41 and a foreleg at 43. Right hind leg's really hardly can see it, so it's only a 14. And that right foreleg's 24. Other thing to note, notice as I scroll around the different body parts, middle bottom of the screen, it's red, it says mole rat, that's what you're firing on, and you see its health bar flashing. That's how much potential damage I can take if I have score a hit on that particular part. So you'll notice if I go to the head, you notice it's taking 5 chunks. If I go down here, it's taking 3. So it's always better to have a headshot. And there's a good chance maybe if you get a critical headshot, you might kill it right off the bat or knock it unconscious or something. But and the other thing to note, in your lower right corner, you notice your AP is changing. It's flashing. It's telling you how much you're going to spend on that one single action. So in this case, you can see you're going to spend about a quarter, if that, of your AP if I take a single shot at its torso. Different actions will have different amounts and different costs. So let's go ahead and the way it works is you queue up actions. So we're gonna aim for the torso, and you'll notice it put in the lower right corner mole rat torso. It's gonna list out from top down the order of what you've told it to do. So we're gonna aim for the torso. You'll see now my action point has total has dropped. I'm gonna go with torso again. And now you'll see the mole rat, our potential damage, we've taken about half, maybe, not quite. We're we're down to a little over about a third of our AP left. You'll also notice it's actually taken out the rounds out of your ammo counter for you. I'm going to go ahead and take a couple shots at this thing's head. So I'm going to take one shot there and one shot there. And as you can see, I still have 4 action points left, which it's showing me is I can still spend. But see, if I want to take a headshot, if I hold down the button to do it, see how it says low AP? It's telling me I don't have enough action points, so I can't make that action. And if I hold it down, it shows me when it's not blinking, how many I need left to perform that action. Okay, how about the torso? Can I fire the torso? No, I cannot. So basically at this point, I'm not going to have spent every single action point available to me, but that's fine. We're still getting off, as you can see, 4 shots. We're going to get off 2 at the torso. We're going to take 2 shots at its head. Potential damage is completely dead, because you can see potentially this should kill it. Doesn't mean it will. Does not mean that you're going to hit it, because again, we only have 57% and 22% chance of even hitting. But the potential, like the best case scenario, is a dead mole rat that got shot twice in the torso and twice in the head. And I got a couple action points left over for the next round. So at this point, on your controller, you would accept whatever that button is. It'll put into forth the motion of what we just told it to do. Now let's say like you're like, oh shit, I didn't want to do that. You hit your corresponding button and you can So I put it back over the mole rat, and I hit, in my case, right mouse button. In your case, it'll be a different button. And I erased the last move I put in. Because maybe you're like, wait, shit, maybe I shouldn't do that. Maybe I shouldn't go for 2 headshots. Maybe I should be more safe and go for another torso. So now I can change it. So as you can see, now we're back down to AP's points are spent. But now look, potentially, best case scenario, with no critical hits or anything, just straight damage per damage. If we get 4 out of 4 regular hits with the 4 targeted areas we have selected, we're not going to kill this thing. Now again, you might get a critical in there, and that's going to change. So that's something to consider. But you see, it has changed the potential outcome of this fight. So now let's say like, you know what, this is better. This is what we want to do. So you're going to want to accept it, and then it's going to put into motion. You're not going to do anything. You're just going to sit back and watch once you put it into motion. So here we go. 3, 2, 1. Actions 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Now it's going to do whatever actions. I just paused it. It's going to put forth into motion. It's going to see through the actions that you told it in the order you told it to do it. You know, it could be hits, could be not hits. You might tell it to reload on the fly. And it's going to do everything for you, and then it's going to go right back into normal mode. Normal first person. You're playing. You're kind of back in the hot seat. That's the best way I can put it. I pulled up my Pip-Boy because that's how you pause. So I'm paused right now because I wanted to be able to talk and walk you through it. So I did my 4 shots. It looked to me like we hit pretty well. So when I go unpause here, I'm going to finish this guy off in just regular firing mode. So I'm just going to wait, and he just ran right into my crosshairs. Perfect. So that's how I like to play on a personal level. When I first meet up on some stuff, I like to go VATS. I like to hit that VAT button, pull it up, plan out my attack, mush up the item, right? Knock it down a bit. And then if I feel like it's only got maybe a shot, maybe 2 left of health, I'm just going to let it go back into real-time mode, and I'm just going to finish the battle. And I've gone the other way. Sometimes I'll come up on something and I think I can take it out nice and quick and easy. It turns out to be a real bitch. I'll go, crap, this is harder than I thought. I'll go ahead and start off first person and then go into VATS. You can always go into VAT mode at any time. You just activate it. Well, okay, anytime that there's a seeable baddie, you have to be able to see it in order to target it. So anyways, we have killed this thing. So now what? Just like any other game we've ever played, let's loot it. It's got some mole rat meat. You can see it weighs 1 pound. It has a value of 4. Its effects right off the bone it gives you 2 rads, but it does give you 5 HP. I like meat. I like to have stuff on me that can heal me. It doesn't always have to be stim packs. It can be, food and water. I just hit the corresponding. I didn't show you, but in the lower right corner you see, again, your buttons will be different. There's corresponding buttons as to you can take everything, which is nice. You just grab it all in one fell swoop. If you want to pick and choose, you just pick the individual items out of the list over here, and you can take them and leave the other stuff, or you can just exit and not take anything. Again, keeping in mind you don't have to carry every little bit of loot around in this game. Most of it is useless. And there's not a lot of crafting in Fallout 3. If you keep playing these and you get onto New Vegas, which is the next game in the series, there actually is crafting, and there's a little bit of crafting in this one, and we'll get to that, but not as much. So those extra things are truly just junk. But the other ones you'll start finding that the junk's actually a little more useful. Fallout 4, they're talking about making a lot of crafting, which will be really cool because you can make your own or at-home weapons and armor and stuff. Excuse me. So, as you find more shit in that game, it's probably going to be more useful to actually drag it around, but not so much in this one. So we're just cruising along here. It's nighttime. Some things change day and night. You'll see some things at night that you don't see during the day, and vice versa. You know, animals and other encounters and such. Again, I don't want to give too much away. I want you to be able to experience it for yourself. You can kick stuff. You see how I just walked into it. I didn't do anything. It's just the physics just pick up the fact that I walked into it. So, I don't know. For whatever that's worth. Kind of fun. Reload. I always, just like any other game, as soon as I'm done with the firefight, I just reload pretty quickly. That way I'm ready for the next one. So I'm kind of going a roundabout way here, because as you saw, it's really craggy through there. Well, I'm going to head down here. And you'll notice we're coming up on one of those not filled in triangles. So we're about to discover somewhere. And you'll notice, you'll see how close you are to something by how sensitive or how quickly it's moving on your compass. You'll see how I'm walking toward this one. So see how it's moving really fast? That triangle down the lower left corner. I'm really close to it because I barely have to move, and it's making significant movement, on the compass. So I must be close. But you'll notice the other one to the left, I'm kind of further away. It's hardly moving much as I move. And you probably saw there too a green blip popped up. There it is, right there, just to the left of the E on the top half of the compass. That is a marker for a non-threatening, at this time, item or person. And as you can see, well, it doesn't have much of a scope on it. It looks like a caravan to me. Now I'm going to be... Oh, there you go. I have discovered Springvale. And, oh, there it is. I got 11 XP for finding that, so that wasn't that exciting. But every little bit helps. So, the game world lives. It's its own world. It's its own thing. So people are going to go about their daily lives, with or without you. And so you're going to see these caravans from time to time, cruising around, doing their routes. You can straight up try to murder these guys and just take all their crap. You can be that guy. Or we can trade. So let's talk to him.
Welcome. My name is Crow, and I travel the land offering vestments of protection. And you are fortunate I found you in time. You bear the look of one who is haunted. But I am proud to say that my wares can protect you from even the cruel claws of death itself. Have a look.
Alright. Kind of cool, because there's actual monsters called Death Claws. Claws of Death. So, pretty cool. Alright, so again, we're talking to this guy. We can choose to, choose to trade with him. We can ask him questions. He can repair stuff, so that's good to note. I didn't say that before. Just because you don't have the skill level doesn't mean there's not people out in the world that you can't barter, or not barter for, but pay for their services, and they can repair stuff for you. So don't ever feel like you have to put into the repair skill, and if you don't, you're screwed, because that's not the case. You can find someone out there to do it for you. You're just going to have to pay them. Let's go ahead and trade with this guy. So I'm here to buy. You can talk to them and talk to everybody. They give you pretty cool backstories and information. Again, it fleshes out the story. Sometimes you will trigger an event or like a quest, like a side quest. That's really what this game's about. It's just traveling around, seeing things, meeting people, and doing stuff for them and enjoying it, as well as driving the main quest. So I'm not really worried about it right now for the sake of time. So we're going to go right into...
If the clothes make the man, then here are the means to remake yourself.
Not everyone in the game is nearly as verbose and intelligent sounding as this young chap here, but there are some pretty interesting characters. So let's do a quick barter here. Here's all my crap. As you can see, items. You can change this. This is everything I'm carrying, so I can filter it by going, again, on your controller it's going to be different. I think it's flat pad, left and right, I believe. This is just weapons, so it's filtered to just weapons. Just apparel, just aid, just miscellaneous, just ammo. Again, this is gonna sound familiar because you go to your Pip Boy, your little pause menu on your wrist. That's exactly the same setup under your items. It's broken down into the same sub categories. So let's sell some of this stuff. This pistol is pretty much. Wait a minute. What did I just do here? Oh, okay. I clicked on it, which means I moved it over to selling to him. So you can see here, this is what I have chosen to trade with him. So let's do this again. All right, we're back to square one. Okay, so let's say like I want to sell this pistol. It's in bad condition. It's really not going to do me any good. It's just dead weight right now to me. So I want to choose it to be sold. So I'm going to click it. In your case, it'll probably be A. Well, now it's over here in his stuff. And his is the same way. Crow is the name of the guy. This is all his junk. So I can scroll and see everything that he has that he's willing to barter. And again, I can filter it if I want to find stuff quicker and easier. I usually just keep it here just because I don't mind scrolling and finding stuff. But so I've chosen to trade with him this pistol. Here's what he's willing to give it to me at. 7 caps. So he's willing to give me. So he had value. These are the values that he has placed on the items right off the bat. So he values this pistol at 93. But as you see, it's actually valued like at 100% at 174. So what is he willing to give us? What, a little over 50%, right? Maybe 60% for our stuff. So he's willing to give me 7 caps for this pistol. Now I'm going to go ahead and sell this pistol as well because this one's in pretty darn good shape. If this one was kind of broken up in bad condition, I might hold on to this to repair this one with in a short amount of time. But this one's in really good shape. So I think by the time this thing goes down in condition, I'm going to have already found some other stuff and better stuff probably. So right now I'm going for caps. Or maybe actually what I want to get from him, I want to get his stim packs because those are always good to have lots of those. And I was hoping maybe he had some ammo, but he doesn't. So I want his stim packs. Well, let's see here. He has 3 of them at 37. So we're going to need, what, 90? We're going to need 111 caps in order to satisfy a straight trade. I think you can get within a cap or two and try to trade, but they sometimes will say yes, but rarely do they ever. So I just try to make this, a 0 if I can, or I try to make it really low so that the caps I do have, which right now is 0, I can just cover the rest of the trade in caps. Here's how many caps that he has. Keep that in mind too, because you can't just dump everything off on one guy, because he probably doesn't have enough caps to cover the cost. And if he doesn't have the stuff you want to trade with him, he's not going to be able to cover the cost. So keep that in mind when you're doing trading too. And these numbers change; they fluctuate based on the in-game. The game has its own simulation of these people's lives. So if he's on a really good trading run, he's got a lot of cash and he's flush, well, he's going to be able to buy more off of you. But maybe he's out in the middle of frickin' nowhere and everyone's dead, so he hasn't sold anything or bought anything, so he's got no caps. So that's what this is based on. But anyway, my end goal is to get these 3 stim packs off of him. I'm going to go ahead and just select them now. So there, over here in mine, you see I have 3 stim packs at 37 as he has valued them. In this version of Fallout, there is no, like, you can't barter for a lower price. You can in Vegas, I think, and you could in the first 2. But that's really kind of neither here nor there. But I just wanted to cover that in case you were like, well, hey, can I barter this price? Unfortunately, no. So it's not filled in because it's just, that's the game's way of kind of denoting something that has been selected in this trade. So again, I've chosen to give him this pistol. I've chosen to take these stim packs. Right now, I'm in the hole 104 caps, and I don't have that to cover. So right now, I got to come up with more goods to trade with this guy to cover this 104. And you can go over 104 as long as you don't go 129 over. And you can choose to take a loss. Let's just say like you got too much shit in your bags and you just need to get rid of it, and you don't really care about caps. You can go to a guy and sell it to him, and he'll just give you whatever caps that he has for it. If you're willing to take that loss, then that's up to you. So we're going to give him that pistol. So now we've given him these two pistols. Now we need 79 more dollars, or excuse me, caps worth of stuff to give this guy to cover for the stim packs. Here's two police batons. I don't need those two, but I really don't even need one. But I don't want to go. I don't want to have any non-backup to my pistol at this point. I'm not real good with my hands. I mean, I can punch a guy, but I'm not that great at it. So I'm not real comfortable with just using my fist as my backup. But you always do have that. So I sold him a baton. Now I got this pre-war money. Remember we talked about that before. It was worth 10. He's willing to give me 5. I've got 9 of them. So that's 45 caps, and it weighs nothing. So pre-war money for me, I love finding it in the game. I always take it. I'm going to give him all of it. Now this comes up. Anytime you have a stack of something, a stack is denoted by the number next to the item. So like here's a stack of 139 10mm rounds. Here's a stack of 21 bobby pins. You can adjust, and again, flat pad on your controller, you can adjust how many of these you want to give, because maybe you don't want to sell all of them. But in our case, we do, right? Because we know we have 9, they're at 5, that's 45. I'm still trying to cover 68. So I want to go ahead and sell him all of them. So now we're down to a manageable 23 caps. But again, I don't have any caps, so I got to find more stuff to sell to this guy. So let's see what else he's willing to buy. How about this tunnel snake outfit? I was given that by a guy in the vault, and again, you'll run into him yourself, and you can maybe or maybe not get the suit. I don't want it. As you see, it gives a +5 to melee weapon, which is nice. So by wearing that, you use melee weapons better. But I'm probably not going to wear it. It has a DR of 4, kind of low. It weighs 2, that's not bad, and it's only valued at 8, so it's really not that great. It is in perfect condition though, so there is that going for it. But I don't want it, so I'm going to sell it. This is my original jumpsuit. This is what you start the game with. And as you see, if you wear it, you get a melee weapon of +2 and a speech of +2, and I'm seeing that on the very bottom. Where it says effects. So wearing that item gives those effects. Carrying it around does not. It has to be equipped. So let's go to that. I'm going to sell this armor. I have 2 of the same pieces of armor. Again, I could choose to keep this to repair this with later down the road, but we saw I needed a 33% rating in repair to make that repair. Well, I'm only like at 20 right now, so I'm not going to be there for probably another level or 2, which is going to be some time. So right now, it's more important for me to get those stim packs than it is to carry around some extra armor. So we've got this transaction down to 3 caps. We're almost there. So now we can find something tiny, right? Anything. Vodka. I mean, I'm probably not going to drink it. Probably going to come on a bar here pretty soon. So why not sell that? Now check it out. This has gotten light. It's gotten highlighted because it's saying, hey, you don't owe, you now get. So I'm going to get 8 caps back from this guy, as well as get those stim packs that I really, really want. And I'm getting rid of all this crap, which is exactly that right now, crap and weight. So this is perfect. So right now I'm going to go to my corresponding. I'm going to accept it. Again, on yours, these will be different buttons. But I'm going to accept this trade. Boom. And as you see, everything changed over. Now he has what I sold him in his inventory. So that's pretty cool. So see there's the pre-war money that I sold him. But you'll notice now he wants to charge me 15 per. So he marked it up, what 200%, 300% or whatever. It's 3 times what it was to buy it back that we sold it for. There's that vodka that we sold him. So if you do make an oops and you're like, shit, I didn't mean to sell that, you can rebuy it. You're just gonna get a little punch in the gut. But there, that's done. That's now a successful trade. And again, anything with a dark carrot or dark button next to it means it's equipped. So that's all that means. All right, we're gonna exit.
Thanks.
Again, you can have him repair stuff for you.
Maybe.
Let's just look
Let's
at
take
that.
a look.
So here's what you have available to be repaired, and here's its current condition. And you'll see, based on the level of the guy we're talking to, who has a repair skill of only 15, so it's kind of low, he can do, he can improve your items this much. But, well, you'll notice he can only improve, or, yeah, I guess improve, repair one of our items, which is our police baton. So, for 6 caps, as you see in the very lowest part there, for 6 caps, he will increase this by 4%. So it'll be 4% better off and more repaired than it stands right now. Well, that's not really worth it to me. And again, this guy's repair skill level is very low. Other people you run into out in the world may have very, very, very high ones. And as you can see, these are all dark because he can't repair them. His skill just isn't high enough. You have to have a 49%, as you can see, for all of these things, actually, to... oh, sorry, I'm sorry. It's saying he can't repair past 49%. So his skill level would only allow him to take this item if it were completely broken and only repair it up to 49%. But since we're already well past 49%, as you can see here, he can't repair it. There we go. That's a better way to put it. So, long story short, we're not going to worry about him repairing. But now you see how that works. And anytime you have something that's darkened in a conversation, that just means that you've already said that to that person. Doesn't mean you can't say it again. Like if I wanted to buy more stuff from him, I just click that again. Or let's say, like, you didn't hear what he said on something. Sometimes it'll let you say the same thing over. You don't always get the same response, but you can say the same thing over and over and over. If it's light green, that means you haven't chosen to say that to this person yet. Which is super weird because I did say to repair something, but I think because I didn't have him repair anything, it doesn't count it as a conversation. Anyway, we're gonna go
on the path you travel.
Okay, now we're moving on. So there's his Brahmin. That's what they call them in the game. They're crazy-ass, two-headed bull cow things. There's his armored guard. That's a caravan. You'll see them throughout the game. You might just see him again later. So now we're in town. Again, I'm not going to spend a lot of time going over specifics. Well, sorry, I spent all my time going over specifics and not other things, but see, you can go up to almost anything. I can open this, look inside. Hey, look at that. I found actually a lot of good stuff. There's some of those drugs you can take that really make you strong in battle. You get 30 action points. By taking Jet, you also get chance of getting addicted. Here's some Psycho. You get 25% boost in damage. That's huge. So again, you can see that those are great, but your chances of getting addicted to it and then having to deal with that are pretty significant. But 25%, if you're going up against a big-ass boss or some really badass shit, that might just be worth it. And a frag grenade is always good to have. So in this case, I'm going to take all, because I always take drugs, because drugs are usually pretty highly valued. They're sometimes hard to sell because a lot of people won't buy them because they're against the law, kind of. And but some people will, and so I always carry them around. And you never know, you might just need a little boost. So I'm going to hit the take all in this case, and boom, there you go. Everything's in my inventory now. But again, I got a huge town here. Well, okay, it's not that big, but I've got a town here that I can cruise around and I can just go through. I can walk into these houses, go up to mailboxes. I can open up so much stuff. Like here's a cabinet. Well, maybe there's some stuff in there. Heck yeah, there is. Look at that bobby pin I want. I'm just gonna do individual items here because I don't want an empty whiskey bottle. That's just gonna do me no good at this point in time. So I'm not gonna select all because I don't want the empty whiskey bottle. Hey, it's scotch though. That's worth 10. We'll take those. And a whiskey again, worth 10. Why not take it? But the point being is you can cruise through this whole area right now and just select stuff and open it and find stuff and decide what you want to take and not take and whatever else and explore to your heart's content. Um, let's see here. I think I've really hit a lot of the basics to get going and long-winded, but there's a lot to say, and I really wanted to go kind of verbose so that I could try to catch all your questions and concerns, if you will. So yeah, I'm going to end this one here, and I'm going to edit it up, send it your way, and yeah, let me know. Feedback's always appreciated, constructive and otherwise. I can't be any better at this unless I know I need to be. So I hope you've enjoyed listening to my droney voice, which I've been told actually sounds really good, and look forward to seeing you very soon. Love you lots, and I really hope you choose to enjoy some Fallout 3. You're going to love it.